everybody, this is Amanda.
And Rick.
Today is our annual video where we share what we have spent for the year in groceries. So Rick does not know. You're going to be getting his raw reaction to the numbers.
We have not rehearsed.
Nope, definitely not. I'm sure you'll be able to tell that. But it's going to be fun. It's always interesting to take a look at the numbers and see how everything works out. So if you're new to our channel, I do want to tell you how our budget works. We have a family of 6 in total, my husband and myself, and there are 4 children. They're all old now in the house at one time or another. So we have my oldest son, Brian, who is 22, our younger son, Ricky, who is 20, our daughter, Brianna, who is 16, and Ricky's friend Marquise moved in with us a few years ago, and he is 23 now. So we have all of those folks with us at one time or another through the year. But this year in particular, we've had people come and go. Marquise went to the dorms in the fall. Ricky moved to Wisconsin in May. And so at different periods of time, we had different numbers of people in the house. So our budget has kind of changed. When we have everybody in the house, or even just Marquise in the house, we are budgeted at $65 a week. But when there's just me, Brian, Brianna, and Rick, our budget is $50 a week. So, but there was only 13 weeks out of the year I counted that so far that we've had. That was just the 4 of us. Okay. So that kind of goes into how much we can expect. So anyway, so that's what our budget is, and that's the number of people and how it's kind of changed through the year. But another thing I want to mention, if you're new here, is that lunches. Brian works, and he provides his own lunches for work, so that's one of the things that he does. And Marquise and Ricky, when they were here, they also provide for their own lunches when they're at work or doing other things. When they're here, they, you know, on Saturdays and Sundays and things, they'll pretty much eat whatever's in the house. But when they're at work or at school or college or whatever, they provide their own meals. So that does happen from time to time, and that's also one of the ways that we keep our budget lower than what you would expect. So that is what our budget should look like. But what did it look like? Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll start by going month by month. And by the way, if you want to catch last year's, I'll link it at the top. Let me just remind you of last year. Well, actually, let's start in 2017 because we do this every year. I want to show you the numbers. I think I might. Let's start with 2017. 2017, we started this. We spent, you can't look, $2,403.60 for a whole year. $2,400 for an entire year. That's like $200 a month. Right. I mean, it's 12 months in a year. So that was really good. Of course, our family grew, and last year we spent $3,500. Well, $3,574.52.
Okay.
Still very reasonable. I mean, we were only spending $297 a month for 6 grown people.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an average of under $50 a person per month.
That's good.
So that's still really, really good. But I'm not going to tell you this year's yet. We're going month by month first. But I just wanted to refresh those numbers in your head so you can, you know, see how they compare. So every year in January, what do we do? What do we do in January? Do you even know?
We pray and hope for the best.
No, we have it this year. What are we doing this year in January? January...
Low spend month.
Low spend month. We cut it back in January.
There was a light bulb.
I know you know it.
It went off.
I can tell you really care about tightening the
budget. Low spend month. I'm excited.
So last year in January for low spend month, remember our budget is supposed to be $65 a week for our family. At that time was 6. Yeah. There were 5 weeks that we budgeted for. And we spent a total of $247.82. So we were well under budget for January low spend month. We did a pretty good job. And that was a good thing. Because February was, I hate to tell you, our biggest month of spending.
Really?
Last year.
What was February? What was so big about February?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. First of all, we had the Dollar General clearance sale.
Okay.
Which, if you don't know, we budget separately for the Dollar General clearance sale. And the Dollar General clearance sale purchases often includes non-food items. Our grocery budget generally doesn't include our non-food items. That's personal items. And for that, I usually budget between $25 and $35 every 2 weeks. But the Dollar General clearance sale, we buy food and non-food items. And I don't sit and pick out each of the prices of all the things. We just count that entirely as part of the grocery budget, but it's really a separate budget. We budget every year for the Dollar General clearance sale, but I include it in here because it has groceries, and I just want to keep in mind what we're spending on food every year. So we also had my biggest grocery haul ever. Do you know how much is the most I have ever spent on groceries in 1 week?
I should know, but I don't know. What is
Do
it?
you even have an, like I just said, our budget
Yeah,
is between $50 and $65 a week.
that's right.
So what do you think would be a lot of money for us? Like, you've been shopping with me occasionally. What number would you see on the screen that would be like tremendous? What number would shock you? You wouldn't even be shocked. You would just pay it.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked or whatever it is. I mean, as long as I didn't see too many zeros.
That's why I do the budgeting.
Huh?
You really don't have any idea?
I'm easy going about it because I know that if it's a high number, then we will just cut back later on. That this was something that I at this point in the game, I realize that there are times that we stock up and we spend more, and then other times we have it so we don't spend as much. So I don't necessarily get shocked.
But I want you to be shocked. I want you to hear this number and be like, oh, I can't believe you spent that much money.
Well, hit me with it.
$152.54.
What did you say?
$152.54. Do you know, prior to that, my biggest grocery haul, and I've been keeping track of all my grocery hauls for the last several years. The biggest one I've had before that was $121.
Yeah.
So to hit $150,
No, I agree. Well, I said
it's a lot bigger.
I said a few minutes ago that when there's zeros in the total, I do the alarms go off. You know, so yeah, I recognize that is a whole lot different than what you usually spend.
It was a lot.
Yes, it was.
I'll link it to the top if you guys want to check out that grocery haul, because that's probably the most interesting one of the year. But anyway, so for
Did you enjoy my outburst?
I enjoyed it a lot. Thumbs up if you enjoyed Brick's outburst. So the total for February, though, was $409.48.
Okay.
$409. And let me tell you something, that was only 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But lest you get stressed about that, that's averaging only about $100 a week, which I think is what most normal people spend on their groceries. I think most everybody normally spends about $100 a week, especially if you have a family of 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that. So I think that's when we were like in the normal range, but it was extreme for us, extreme. So March actually had 4 weeks, and we trimmed it back a bit to $270.17. Nothing major happened that month, although we did get it, by the way, a new...
But see, that alone, I mean, trimmed back.
But that was actually on budget. That wasn't like going like under budget. That was just like back to normal.
Well, what I'm saying is that's why I don't always get
Freaked out.
Because I know the reality is that as the weeks go on, we're going to trim it back. And we got it when it was a good deal, and now that we have it, like I said, I've learned.
I'm glad you've learned.
I didn't always know the rules to the game, but now I do. So now I have confidence in you.
Thank you. You know what else we got in that space of time, February, March? A new stove.
Yes.
Which is
I
beautiful,
remember
which
that.
I think has helped our budget. It's made things better. So April, we actually went down again. Mm-hmm. April was 4 weeks, and we spent $229.65. So again, very low. We did good. May, again, we went even lower. May had 5 weeks, not just 4, 5.
Okay.
And we only spent $194.69. So that's under $200. So it was like $40 a week. And I think part of that, I think part of the reason why we trimmed it back that month was because we were so busy getting ready for graduation. Like our attention was on other things.
I remember.
We were spending money elsewhere. Brianna graduated that month from high school. Yay! High five, Dad. We homeschooled. You just gonna leave me hanging? All right, so
It's been many moons since I high-fived anybody.
high five me again.
Huh?
Just because you need to.
See,
Need some practice.
nowadays we do the fist bump. Can
You
fist
do,
bump your
but
wife?
I'm a girl, so I don't do that.
But in cold and flu season, you do the fist bump.
Anyway, all right. So June had 4 weeks, and this was our lowest month of the year. June, we only spent $97.22.
Say it one more time.
$97.22. That's 4 weeks. We spent an average of under $25 a week.
That's June.
Yeah, we only had 5 people in the house then. Ricky was gone at that point.
Yep.
So that's, but still under $25 a week. And I'll tell you why we went down that low. I don't know if you remember.
Because it's June, it's starting to get hot, and nobody wants to eat.
We had to pay the plumber.
Oh, the plumber. Oh, I do remember that.
We had a plumbing
tell you
issue.
what, yes.
And we had to pay the plumber.
That was right after Ricky left.
And
it was
we
like
were
boom,
cutting
boom,
back.
boom. All these things are happening.
Yes, the car broke down. It was a lot of stuff all at once. And we were just like,
And how
everything's
come
cutting back.
everything always requires money? Why can't things happen that don't require money?
Wow. Okay. July also had 4 weeks, and we
4
spent
weeks.
$185.45. Again, 5 people in the house, under $200 a month, really low. I think we did pretty good. August, we stepped it up, and I think we had really tightened things up in June and July to pay for those major expenses. So in August, it was time. I even mentioned it, I think, in my videos that I was like, we're going to stock up in August. So I still didn't terribly go over budget. It was 5 weeks in August.
Okay.
So at $65 a week, that would be $330, I think. So we were a little bit under that. We only spent $304 even. So we did pretty
Awesome.
good. September had 4 weeks. September, we were getting ready for Homesteaders of America, and we spent $201.73. And October, oh, and by the way, in September, we were down to just me, you, Brian, and Brianna. So
Marquise
spending,
had left, yeah.
so spending $200 for 4 weeks is essentially $50 a week for all 4 of us, and that is right on budget. That's right where we want it to be. So October had 5 weeks. Again, there were only the 4 of us. We spent $233.73. We were under budget. In November had 4 weeks. With Thanksgiving, we went down to $188.26. So, I mean, again, under $50 a week for all 4 of us. That was pretty good, which is a good thing because in December, I went over. This month I went over significantly. So, but we did have Marquise back this month. Like, he came back at the first part of the month, so we've mostly had him back here. So in December, we spent $317.87 for 4 weeks. But anyway, so are you ready for the grand total?
Yes.
Alrighty. Our grand total was $2,000. Now, let me just point right there. What was the first number of last year?
It was a 3.
It was a 3.
So we're already better.
Already better.
Okay.
High five.
Back to the 5s. You know what? Somebody's going to laugh at my 5s.
Well, that's because we're doing it like right.
When you give somebody a high 5, you face them. You're facing the camera, and I gotta do this kind of acrobatic come
Good.
around the side
Give it
kind
to
of
her.
thing.
Give it to her.
Nobody does that.
We're doing our own. Anyway, $2,880
Yeah.
and 7 cents.
Okay.
$2,880.
All
So
right.
less than
That's better
last
than
year.
last year. You're
It's
going
a
in the right direction.
little over $200 a month. So we averaged $55.39 a week for the whole year. And most of the year we had everybody in the house. Or at least most of the year we had everybody but Ricky in the house. Ricky was only here through May, but that's still almost half the year. That was 5 months out of the year. So $55.39. That's an average of $9.23 per day. $10 a day. Or $1.53 per person per day.
That's really good.
That's tremendously cheap. $3.07 per meal. And 51 cents per person per meal. 50 cents per person per meal.
That's excellent.
That's pretty good. So our numbers
That's
actually
really
went
good.
down from last year. Last year,
see
our
that now.
average was $165 per person per meal, and we're at $153 per person per meal this year. And we were 55 cents per person per meal I'm sorry, it was $165 per person per day last year, and this year it's $153. So I mean, we snugged it back a little. Mm-hmm. High five again.
She set me up.
I am.
That was bad.
You perfected it now.
I just know I gotta move. I gotta move myself.
All right.
I won't ask you to change. I'll change.
So let's talk about a couple of things that I think one of the things that helped us cut back this year is we did not make a major purchase. Like last year we bought the quarter of a cow.
True.
Or actually it was an eighth of a cow. This year we didn't do that. I would have liked to have done that, but we had that major plumbing thing that we spent on in the summer. Mm-hmm. And so that just made it other major purchases and we bought the stove at the beginning of the year. So that made other major purchases just not possible at this point.
Right.
And we bought a car. Side note, we bought a car. We had one goal this year. One food-based goal. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that goal?
I do remember.
For 2019, what was the goal?
It was to grow food.
The garden. In fact, last year we called it the G word. We couldn't even say it because we had so many failures. But this year, my friends, we grew a garden.
Cracked that nut.
We grew a garden. We grew actual food.
Yeah.
What did we grow? Do you remember?
Well, greens.
We had kale. And turnips.
Turnips.
Which was turnips and turnip greens, obviously. And we grew radishes. And we also had red leaf lettuce. Mm-hmm. And that was all that we grew.
Yeah. No, but...
But we grew food, people. In fact, we still have kale in that garden.
Yeah, no, the never-dying kale. Well, that's the thing. Somebody will say that that's not a whole lot. But leading up to it, it was failure. And we always wanted to see that we could grow something so we could help out the food budget. Mm-hmm. And we never did. But we finally, you got to start somewhere.
Correct.
And because of the truck issue, and because of the plumbing issue, and Ricky, and on and on and on, the beginning of the summer kind of fizzled out. Mm-hmm. And I admit we got a little discouraged. But, you know, at the end of the summer and early fall, you can still grow some things. Mm-hmm. So there came a day.
It was like midsummer. It wasn't the end of summer.
Exactly. But there came a day, and I'm always thankful for that we just got tired of it. And we just looked and we just said, let's go do it.
Correct.
And we went out and we planted the seeds. And we just waited. You know, and I thought, you know, worst comes to worst, we'll get nothing. But, you know, we might get something. And then all of a sudden, and we kept looking. I mean, every day it was like a child at Christmas. You know, you just look. And then one day, life sprouted up. It was exciting. It was like the wall was broken down. The garden thing did not seem as scary as it did. Mm-hmm. And we did grow some things. And that really has opened up the door to the opportunity, or I should say I guess the vision, the big vision of actually growing more this coming summer. Mm-hmm. That will really be a help to the family and your budget.
I feel more confident about it. I really do. Now that we've gotten something to grow and I kind of have a feel for how it works and, you know, getting things in order.
Yeah, it's not really scary.
No.
And it's funny because there were people who kind of tease us a little bit. So like, it's not a big deal. Just do.
But it was hard for us.
Yeah, I mean, before you actually do something different, it's a little intimidating. You know, I work with people who are like pro gardeners, if there's such a thing. They do it all the time. They're always trying to get new techniques and learn new tips, and they're always talking about it. Well, I mean, when you're around people like that, you're like, well, I don't know if
I'm always around the homestead folks.
Yeah, you're like, you just don't know if you can do any of it.
But they've been very encouraging.
So they have. So, you know, the day comes, you actually do try, and boom, you get something. You know, and that's wonderful. So I'm looking forward to this summer.
Me too.
To actually getting beyond just trying to grow something and actually being more specific about some real things that you can use, that you can actually put in more things in the kitchen, more ingredients, more things. You know, be more specific and seeing what we can get.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm super excited about it. That was our only goal for this year.
Yeah.
But for this next year, I have a few goals.
Okay.
So one thing, I do want to grow more food, which we
Sure.
just talked about that.
Yep.
So that's a given.
Okay.
I want to do more in the way of food storage. I got into dehydrating here toward the end of the year. As you guys know, if you watched our 12 days of dehydrating, which I'll link at the top if you haven't seen it.
Ginger candy, folks.
Everybody loved biscotti on the videos, but everybody in my house's
Biscotti
favorite
was
was the ginger candy. It's almost health candy.
But it's good. Very good.
Anyway, so I got into dehydrating, and I really want to do more with that. We've been talking about some different things that we want to dehydrate, and some other possible food storage ideas that we want to work on for next year. So I definitely want to do more food storage, and possibly another cow. I'd really like to look into doing that this year if we could, because one of the major things that we've tried to keep in stock this year that's been kind of a struggle was beef. So I'd like to see if we can't work our way into saving enough that we could just go ahead and get an eighth or a quarter of a cow and just have that stocked up for the year. So, because when we had it, it lasted us almost 6 months. So if we got a solid amount, then we could just, have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing. And then maybe chickens.
Real chickens?
Real chickens.
We'll see. I know the day is going to come.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know the day will come.
It's never going to happen unless I bring it up.
Is it 2020? I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. If not, I'll come Easter, I'll get you some peeps.
We'll just keep.
I know
we'll just keep
you're really
talking about
hoping
that.
you won't twist the arm. I don't know. I don't know about chickens.
We'll just keep thinking about it. We're just gonna keep thinking about that.
I do see a benefit to having chickens, yard birds, but I just don't know if it's a 2020, and that's all I'll say.
All right. Well, I'll accept that. I just put it on the maybe list.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's our goals and that's our numbers. 28, 80, 07. Are you happy with that number?
It was lower than last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that you did very well this year, very good, and I am pleased.
Well, good. So if you guys are keeping track of your budget, let us know down in the comments what your budget was and how you did this year, and what your goals are for next year. What are you going to do in 2020? What's your goals in terms of your food and your storage, your finances, all of those things. If you have any goals that are related, let us know those too, so we can encourage one another. We're getting ready to start our January low spend month for this year, so we're going to start off on the right foot. And you guys can join that. I'll have linked in the description box below our Facebook Low Spend Month group, and you can join that and take part in that with us, which we will be sharing the calendar for that here in the next day or so. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and come back next time. We'll be sharing with you our word of the year. It'll be me and Rick as well. And then before you know it, it's going to be 2020.
Yep.
So
Very soon.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.